friends accepted that challenge. We had a challenge to be on the map for the right reason.
Former Packer William Henderson joins us. He's delivering an anti-bullying message to local school children. And William, bullying is a serious problem, of course, for kids, but it's also something that cannot be ignored in the workplace, evidence of which the NFL, the Miami Dolphins Richie Incognito thing really got a lot of attention, really put the spotlight on the kind of bullying that happens day after day in the workplace to adults.
There are so many amazing stories of where it goes on day to day. Bullying is a learned behavior, and it's something that's oftentimes practiced by the adults, and the kids basically feed off what they see, and it's unfortunate. But again, you can also learn to not be that person, to allow it to happen when you're at the lunch table, when you're at the office watering hole. Don't avoid a person letting them feel that they're being set aside or pushed aside. Include them. Be inclusive and allow people to come in, and you possibly find out that person can be a benefit in your life. These are all learned behaviors that, again, we can practice to make better, or we can continue to practice and keep the problems going.
Yeah, as with young people, adults can be that same bystander who steps in. Sometimes that's a little difficult for adults as well. But as you said, by stepping in, you can really eliminate that bullying in a matter of seconds.
A few words, a gentle gesture of kindness to include versus exclude. Again, you'll be amazed how the doors open, and again, issues that could be issues are just eliminated.
Yeah, well, like you did on the football field, William, you're finding success after football as well. Besides working with the GAB and some other, what are you doing? How are you keeping busy today?
Busy? Well, I'm always going to keep busy. I've got my frozen yogurt locations. I do have a Capitol in Brookfield Road. Sweet Frog Frozen Yogurt. Please go by. Heather over there is doing a fantastic job. We're enjoying people coming in. It's a family atmosphere. It's an opportunity. It's a safe haven for kids if they want. It's just a good family place. It's a good treat. It's healthy and all the rest of that. But I've created jobs. I'm doing a lot of things. I still work with about 140 different other charities. A lot of work with my buddy Gilbert Brown and his Gilbert Brown Foundation, trying to help a lot of the charities associated with kidney disease and childhood cancer programs. But angel on my shoulder, there's a ton of worthy charities in the state of Wisconsin that I actively support. GAB has been a fantastic opportunity for me to look at another issue that's been a looming problem in our community that I'm trying to actively be a part of getting rid of. But I stay busy because I love being on the go. I love being a Packer fan, enjoying a great season as I'm looking forward to our guys going further on into the playoffs. We'll not talk about playoffs yet. We still got two away games to play and then a home game. But I'm just looking forward to experience of some great things coming back to the state of Wisconsin, the state I've adopted since they adopted me, and just exploring and getting to meet wonderful people.
And that's not always the case with players, whether they play in Buffalo or Denver or whatever, that once their career is done, they'll go back to their home.
I love the state. I love everything that the people have offered me, and the topography. I love fishing and camping and the tourism industry of Wisconsin, which I've gotten to know greatly through Waco, Wisconsin Association of Campground Owners. I've been going camping for the first time, things like that. Just taking in the natural wonders that this state offers.
Yeah. And appointment TV is Sundays, Mondays, sometimes even Thursdays for those Packers games. What do you think of this year's team? They're 10-3 right now.
10-3,
and on quite a roll.
On quite a roll. I'm just so happy. The game that we saw last week against the Atlanta Falcons, again, it shows me the ability of this team to stay the mission. They didn't play 4 quarters of great football, but they still rallied around the team. With a team concept enough to bring home a win against a team that was quite capable of scoring. Julio Jones is no joke, and he came to play ball. And again, kind of a good thing that he went down a little early, but at the same time, that team had put on a lot of points. I mean, I'm loving to see Lacey. Lacey's doing a great job running the ball, but Starks is coming in backing up, giving them a good ride. Aaron, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. I mean, I'm watching this guy. I played with him when he was a rook, and I've loved to see the way this guy has matured into a team leader. And then, it's nice to see Clay Matthews throw his arms out wide after a good sack. My buddy Julius Peppers, one of Carolina Tar Heel, is out there on the D-line. Stepped in this year. Ted Thompson, I like giving him credit when credit's due. He made a great acquisition, bringing in a veteran player who knew how to play, wanted to play at a high level, and is being the ultimate complement to allowing the defense to be more of a threat the defensive line. So it's allowing our defensive backs to make interceptions. Micah Hyde, the guys are stepping up, making good plays. Well, I got to throw my 33 guys out there. And then you give the ball back, and I'm going to throw John Kuhn in, a fullback, give him Lacey and John Kuhn running for the short touchdowns. Fantastic year.
John Kuhn, great guy as well. Very articulate and very funny as you are. And yet he's a fullback, and fewer fullbacks out there. Did you see a day when they become obsolete?
Say it. We are the dinosaur position.
Yeah.
They always talk about getting rid of them. Yeah. But every team that has a good one, I'm loving the fact they're talking about there not being very many out there. Yeah. Yet Seattle brings in a new one. Other teams have brought in good guys because they realize when you have a fullback in your arsenal, your running game, your offensive control of the ball, the percentages of positive plays goes up tremendously. And when you have a good one, you better hold on to them. Yeah.
Well, you earned a Super Bowl ring with Brett Favre. And number 4 was back in Green Bay this past week for a fundraiser for Bart Starr, who was certainly trying to overcome a couple of strokes and a heart attack. Bart Starr Jr. was there as well. Divorce between the Packers and Brett, it seems as though that reconciliation process is slowly coming to fruition.
I believe that we are about to unite the family. And we don't even talk about it.
How important is that to you?
It's important. It's important. And Gilbert and I talked about it. I like throwing my guys out there because we've got positive members of this community, former Packer players who have been active.
Roy Gilbert.
We're talking to them about it. We're excited for it to be over. I'm excited for the paperwork to be drawn, the lines in the sand erased, and for us to be able to come back because we're going on the 20th anniversary of Super Bowl 31. And it's going to be exciting for all of us to get together and enjoy breaking bread and say, you know what, we did it together. We brought the Lombardi Trophy back home together. And that's what it's all about, that teamwork, that camaraderie. He made, Thor made some moves based on him wanting to continue to play, and the opportunity to play was in Minnesota, which was the only team running the offense that made him a successful quarterback at the time. So he did what he did. It's, he made a silly move. He made a dumb move. We call it quits. We pat him on the butt. We did that already. Now we'll welcome him back home.
Well, we enjoyed watching you on the football field, me especially, growing up near Green Bay and working at Lambeau for a few years. And we appreciate what you're doing to eliminate bullying in our lifetime, working with Generations Against Bullying. And let's go to that website, gabnow.org. Lots of information there.
I also want to throw a quick one out. Please send your prayers and condolences. Fuzzy Thurston is having a tough stretch right now. We're not really expecting to make it much longer. So my heart goes out. My prayers go out to the Thurston family. Again, a family member of the Packers for decades. And we respect that young man a lot.
Another family member, William Henderson. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Take care. Well, the journey begins for the newest group. Lessons of teamwork that led to success on the football field and now part of a former Packer player's game plan to tackle the problem of bullying. Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame member William Henderson joins us. Good to see you again, William. Welcome back.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
8 years out of football, still look like you can open some holes for some running backs for the Packers. You look great.
I appreciate it. Right now I'm opening doors for young people to go and have a prosperous life.
And that is so important. And long before you earned that Super Bowl ring, you, like so many other people then and now, victims of bullying. People look at you today and say, you were bullied?
There are all kinds of ways to bully, and I was a young kid at one time, impressionable, and could be directed the wrong way. Had people trying to step on my toes, just like other people are facing today. I was fortunate to have people to rally around, made true friends that, again, encouraged me to be the best that I could be. And that's been part of my message to these young people I've been speaking with. But I'm here representing GAB, Generations Against Bullying, and truly trying to get involved in the community, again, as always, and making sure we're helping people have a voice, helping the young people understand that we do care and that there are voices out there that are hearing. I mean, people are hearing what's going on, but voices to definitely carry the message that, it needs to be a good, fair place to go to school.
Yeah, you mentioned Generations Against Bullying. They've done so much, they've grown so much, and doing so many positive things in the community. And you also talked about people standing up for you. There's a victim, there's the people the bullies, and then there are the bystanders. So important, and their role is so important in helping us, helping young people deal with this kind of psychological and physical harm?
The research shows it takes 10 seconds to stop a bullying encounter from happening, or someone to intervene. With 10 seconds, they can stop it and basically let somebody start a pathway to having a more equal existence. And again, it just takes some people being willing to step up.
That's not an easy thing to do sometimes, because I'm sure they feel like perhaps I might then become the victim of bullying. What kind of message do you send to people about the kinds of techniques, what they can do to become good bystanders and step in at the right time?
Through the GAB website, there are many issues and opportunities to learn. I don't claim to know all the techniques, but I do claim that I can give children an understanding that, again, if they learn to make good friends, if they learn to make the right choices, if they think before they act, sometimes those words that were coming out as bullying, or thinking about the reactions they're having, or who they're interacting with and how they're treating people, if they think before they act, a lot of times these situations can get clipped in the beginning before they become an issue. But we're trying to, again, show the children that there is a positive side of being strong and trying to finish the mission. I was a victim of it, but yet I lived my life and chose to go to course. And the doors kept opening and opportunities kept coming. They don't just stop. You know, the sun does rise tomorrow. So I have a positive side to my message, but I'm really trying to teach children how to find friends, be friends, and be responsible to the community.
You've been visiting a number of schools. You're going to be over at Northcott Boys and Girls Club as well. Know your message, but you're a good listener as well. What are you hearing from young people?
I'm hearing that, yes, there are some situations going on. I'm hearing that some of them have heard the word bullying too often, but nobody's really told them how to be a friend. And what's responsibilities of being a friend, being responsible to another person, saying that I want you to be on target and on time, and basically give yourself the best opportunity to be the best you can be, to reach your potential. And these are the things that I've been bringing to these young people. They have teachers and mentors, but again, your parents can always talk to you, but sometimes it takes another voice to make you want to listen and hear. And now hopefully I've been that voice to some of these young people. I'm going to continue to be that voice. Parents, they put me in the position of being a role model. I accept it. I'm responsible for it. I'm going to do what I can to do to continue it.
This is serious business. I mean, not only does it inflict psychological and physical harm on kids, we're beginning to hear more and more the term bullycide, and that is young people taking their lives because they just can't stand it anymore.
Right now, the CDC says that suicide has been the #1 cause for youth death, and there was over 4,400 cases of suicide last year. But over half of those suicides were directly giving direct connection to bullying. So bullycide has become the term, the definition of it. We need to start doing what we can do so little Johnny or little Jimmy doesn't go off to his bedroom and not come down for dinner. We want to make sure that the parents aren't waking up to the horrible nightmare that their child had no other choice or thought they didn't have another choice, and try to end it versus looking at the many opportunities or connections, networks that are out there to help them out. And again, we have the counselors in school. I don't claim to be a counselor. I don't claim to be an expert. I just claim to be a concerned person that's been a part of this community, will always be a part of this community, and will always try to help our youth reach the best that they can be.
Unlike when we were in school, when harmful things were said in the hallway or maybe in the locker room, today we've got cyberbullying. You know, there are different ways of inflicting this kind of harm, and social media can be very positive, but can also be very hurtful.
In our conversations and what I've learned in the time I've been doing research on what bullying really is, I've learned there's so many ways that, again, bullying isn't the bullying of old. When we went to school at 7 o'clock in the morning, we're done by 2. Bullying was over by 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock at the most. Now it's 24/7, 365, and there are no borders. You can go anywhere in the world and chase you and find you, and what's put on the internet stays on the internet. I'm trying to teach kids, go into your friend list on Facebook and these other chat rooms, and get rid of anything that seems negative. Anyone that seems negative, allow yourself to be in the most positive atmosphere you can possibly be. But at the same time, it's difficult for people of our generation to understand because some of us haven't been as inundated with the social media as our youth are. But it's every day, all day. There's cell phones, there are internet programs, however they're doing it. They're being found and they're being hunted and haunted by these issues. When we were young, we could turn it off, and the next day starts anew. These kids feel sometimes it's chasing me, it's dragging me down all the time, and it wears them down. I want to let them know that you're not alone. You have people to care for you. And again, if you make the right associations, if you look for the right friends, and a lot of times they're the counselors and teachers in your school or the people that are raising you, you can be, there'll be a happy tomorrow.
Yeah. It's great that you're going into these classrooms and talking to these kids. They're listening to you. But after you leave, how do we make sure that what you said and what they heard and the kinds of feelings they got from it, that they continue to carry that on day after day? You know, there are more school programs, I understand, that,
Yes.
that really address this problem, aren't there?
There are a ton of school programs. Again, there's active counselors in all the school systems. I encourage the kids to go to them because they were trained to handle these issues, and they're there on their side. These are their friends. These are their combatants in the war of getting through school. And go through these people, and they can have all the lesson plans. But through GAB, go to the website, you have another resource. And you actually, the one thing with GAB that these other bully programs don't give you, you have people that will answer the phone, and you have people that will actually be involved with you. It's not that you're buying a T-shirt or you're just saying it for the sake of a spirit program. This is an opportunity to be actively involved and have somebody in the trenches, on the ground, making changes in the schools.
All right, very well said. Former Packer Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion William Henderson is our guest. We'll continue our conversation on the topic of bowling and maybe talk a little Packers as well when Eye to Eye returns. We are out of time for this December 14th edition of Eye to Eye. I'd like to thank our guest, former Packer William Henderson, who met with local students recently on behalf of the group Generations Against Bullying. To learn more about bullying prevention, go to gabnow.org. Thank you for watching, and please join us again next Sunday morning.